Happy National Learn to Swim Day.
I'm Ronnie,
And I'm Brian.
and this is Snorkeling with Narwhals.
See, we let him say it because he's now a co-host.
All right, you can say that, but you need to warn me you're going to say that because I lost it.
I don't know. Do you think that was good, Eric? So today on Snorkeling with Narwhals, since we referenced National Learn to Swim Day, we're going to talk about some of the things that we don't know how to do or aren't very well versed in.
And the reason that we can transition from that to that is because Brian does not know how to swim.
I don't.
Can you like doggy paddle?
No.
Like you get in the pool and you just sink straight to the bottom and just walk across.
Well, see, the thing is, most pools I'm in are like hotel pools, and they're only like 5 feet deep.
That makes sense.
So I'm able to walk for the most part in them, or just float around.
So you can stand in the kiddie pool and splash around. You won't. You're like, okay.
If I get to the 5 foot mark, then I start to feel a little uncomfortable because I'm like,
really?
I mean, I'm 5'9".
Did you ever take a swimming class or anything?
Nope.
Wow.
See, that's the thing. I never learned how to swim. I never did it. I tried a couple times, but I never really did anything with it. You can swim, I'm guessing.
I can swim. I'm a good swimmer. I mean, I'm no Olympic swimmer, but I can definitely doggy paddle.
Every time we go to a hotel, well, not anymore because I've just gotten over it. I'm hoping I'm just never in a situation where I need to swim. So hopefully I'm never on a cruise ship that goes down. Hopefully I'm never on Survivor.
Well, they have lifeboats for that.
Well, it didn't work on the Titanic, did it?
No. Well, just make sure that...
I need to learn how to swim. Which, if we ever have a sequel episode to this,
maybe we'll have an outdoor episode where we go to the beach and we do both of the things that Brian can't do because the other thing...
I can't ride a bike. Now, there's actually a really fun story behind this one, and I wish we could have him on here. We have a friend named Matt Slippy, that is in fact his last name. And one day, he found out, him and another friend of ours, Isaiah, they found out that I don't know how to ride a bike. And so... they decided that I needed to learn. So I was I didn't have class at that moment, but I was coming up soon, and I was just all right, I'll just skip it. Eric, I think you were in that class, by the way. It was one of our media classes, but you could skip them.
Don't skip classes, kids.
Don't skip classes, but if you do know how to.
Because the more times you skip, then when you actually need to skip because you're sick. Then you can't skip.
Cry wolf.
Then you have to go because you're sick.
Even though Eric's nodding.
It's true.
But no, so we went over to one of the side roads. I think it leads. I don't know where it leads. It might lead to Narnia. I don't know. But because I didn't want people to really see me, so we went to a path
fall on your face
that
was
less occupied. I still never learned. I tried. And it was so funny because...
Did you fall on your face?
No, I would stop myself before I fell.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But we have, there's two 20-somethings trying to teach another 20-something how to ride a bike while, other college kids are walking by. And I gave up on it. So I don't think I'll ever be in a position where, life or death, I should know how to swim in case something happens. I don't think I'll ever be in a position where, I need to ride a bike.
No.
I take the bus.
There's usually nothing where
it's a life or death.
Unless you're in Jurassic Park, and the only transportation you have to get away from the dinosaurs is a bike.
And if that's the case,
or maybe let me make it a little more realistic. Maybe you're in a zoo and there's a lion.
All right, that's still gonna catch you
on a bike.
Yeah.
Well, a cheetah could, but I don't know about lions. How fast are lions?
I don't know.
Well, I guess if you don't know how to bike, you're not gonna go that fast anyway.
So
if you knew how to bike, maybe
I would just run and hide. So anyway, those are the two big things that I don't know how to do, and I'm not very well versed in them. With you don't know how to
sport.
Well, you know how to sport.
I can do sports. I played lacrosse and football in high school. I can play sports. My preference sport is lacrosse. But when it comes to watching sports, I'm not the best, especially sports I've never played, like baseball. I am an American who doesn't really understand much about baseball. And actually, it was last weekend, I went with my girlfriend to her younger sister's softball game, and she had to explain to me how a lot of stuff worked because I mean, I understand if strikes and what a foul ball is and things like that, but I didn't understand what an inning was. I thought every time one of the teams went to the were not in the outfield was an inning. So
basically, you were thinking.
I was thinking there was
half innings.
Right. I thought every half.
Right.
I thought that the top of the first was a first inning, and then the bottom of the first was the second inning.
All right.
And that's how I thought it worked.
Well, that's a bit of an issue. Then.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though. If you never explained it, every time an inning would be every time somebody comes in
from the outfield. Like to me, that's just one of those things that you should know. Even if you know nothing else about baseball, I thought that innings were pretty like self-explanatory.
They weren't.
But I mean, like there is stuff about baseball that I like. I don't really like to watch baseball because I think it's pretty boring. But I do understand at least most of it. There's some like infield fly. I'm not really.
I know what that is. It means it goes up in the air and comes down in the infield. I learned that when she told me.
But there's also a rule about it.
I'm dating a girl who knows more about sports than I do in some cases.
I don't know.
And that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
And you don't know much.
It's a good thing.
You don't know anything about fantasy football, which isn't really a real sport.
He's like the fantasy football king over here.
Well, fantasy football. Actually, that's probably my brother.
I actually don't know what fantasy football is. What is fantasy football?
Well, first off, I am the 2-time defending McKay Fantasy Football League champion, which is our family league.
Right.
Fantasy football essentially is just we have like 10 teams in our league. And we do a draft where it's like, you go in reverse order of who had the worst records. But then the second round, it flips it. So it's like, they call it a snake draft. And what you do is you pick, like, the skill players, like quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, like, from any team, like, who are...
Okay.
And they have projections as to who's going to be the best. And so you build your team, and then every week, like, in the football season, you set your lineup. You have a bench, too, so you can swap players out. You set your lineup, and based on, like, for, like, the quarterback, how many yards they throw in, like, touchdowns, interceptions, you get a total amount of points for them. And so, basically, what it is you go up against someone else in your league, and whoever has the most points at the end of the week, like, at the end of the games, wins. And it's really all it is. And it's one of those things, it's really fun.
Sounds a lot more complicated when people talk about it.
It's one of those, it sounds like simple, but then during the season, like your players will get injured for like extended periods of time. So then you have to go look on like the free agents and the waivers, like to see who's available. And during the season, a lot of players will appear like out of nowhere. Like they weren't projected to do anything and someone on their team gets injured and they become like a starter and they like tear it up. So you can pick that person up. Okay. And that's a huge advantage sometimes because they could be a huge point scorer that no one saw coming.
Now, what's the point of playing fantasy football?
Well, a lot of them are for money. Like you pool funds and then, but it's just really fun to me. Like I think it's really enjoyable because it's a little stats based, but it's not like overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And it's just really fun because I'm not a sports person, if you can tell. I don't have the body really to play anything.
I, on the other hand, do, for the most part.
So for me, that's kind of how and I love football anyway. So it's a way for me to just continue my love for football.
Football's okay. I really did prefer lacrosse, though, in high school. It was a lot more fun.
Yeah, I like how the two sports we decided you don't know are baseball and fantasy football, which isn't even like a sport.
Well, let's see. I understand soccer because I played soccer in middle school.
Sorry to all the soccer lovers. I just can't.
I understand basketball.
I'm pretty good at basketball.
Hockey's fairly similar
Hockey
to lacrosse.
has some weird rules that I sometimes get mixed up. Like
I know it's not a real sport, but I never understood Quidditch.
Well, that's not even a real sport. That doesn't count.
It's mostly baseball.
Yeah, baseball seems to be... I'm trying to think of what's... curling's kind of fun. I kind of get that.
Curling makes a lot of sense. So I guess it's just baseball that I don't understand.
Yeah, and fantasy football. Fantasy baseball is the worst, by the way.
You know what else I don't understand?
It's a thing.
How people can sit and watch ESPN all day. Guys that just sit and watch ESPN all day.
Me too.
Don't get it.
I do it all the time. I watch radio shows, which sounds weird, but
that's true.
So I like the personalities. That's part of what it is. It's like how they deliver their...
I was trying to think if there's anything else that I can't do, but when I start to think about it,
You're just great at
I'm great at everything. I mean, I can do everything. I can do anything. I can fly a plane. I almost had my pilot's license.
I can't do that.
I can't edit a video as good as Eric. That's what I can't do.
I can't either. For a comm major, it's kind of embarrassing that I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I edit audio.
I'm sure as soon as this episode comes out, my girlfriend's going to have a long list of things that I'm not good at. But until then,
Yeah, apparently,
that's all for now.
According to his girlfriend, which maybe we can get her on here sometime, he has way more pet peeves than
Well, not
he
way more,
said.
but if you guys remember a few episodes ago, episode 4,
Brian
we
is
talked
bitter.
about how Brian's bitter and how many pet peeves he has. And when my girlfriend saw that episode come out, she specifically wanted me to recognize on the show that I do have a pet peeve, at least one that she could think of. And it's chewed bubblegum. Like, you know that person who, like, has gum in their mouth, but they sit down to eat and they, like, take it and they stick it on the side of their glass or on the corner of their plate? Hate it. It's, if you have bubblegum, it's in your mouth or in the garbage can. It is the most disgusting thing ever.
I guess. Anyway.
And if you didn't know, if you're walking down the road and you see, like, a little black spot, it's not tar, that's bubblegum. That's been sitting there for years.
I had to clean sticky tack off the floors at work today. Because people had it on the floors, and I don't understand why. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what we...
I don't... You know what? Actually, I'm going to bring this back in.
Oh, boy. Full circle?
Full circle. Something that I can't do, touch somebody else's chewed bubblegum.
I guess.
Like, the underside of the table is a scary place for me. Like, I get like...
I
start to, like, hyperventilate just to think about putting my hands on the underside of tables. Because it's like, you never know if there's going to be gum under there. And, like, I can't even force myself to do it. It's so gross to me. I find that to be the most disgusting thing.
Well, anyway, as if I was, like, trying to cut off your talk.
You are. But
after we come back, we'll talk a little bit about some impressions that we can do. This came up, we were talking, like, between some filming, and I don't know how mine will go, but yours is pretty good. So
all right,
we'll be back.
So for this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to share with you some of our really, really, really good impressions. And Brian's going to start us off with his character impression of Squidward from SpongeBob, just in case you didn't know.
I thought maybe some people would know who Squidward was.
But in case you didn't know, now you know Squidward is from SpongeBob.
This is going to be me doing a Squidward laugh, so except my nose can't move, so...
Just like Photoshop a nose right there that just bounces up and down.
What about you?
I do a really good Batman impression.
That is a really good... That's probably a better Batman than...
Swear to me!
That's really good. That's probably a better Batman than Christian Bale, actually doing the Batman voice.
Where is she?
Where is the trigger?
I don't really know any other lines that Batman says, other than the one that I was missing.
Oh, I've got a good one, but first I want to do this. It's not who I am, but what I do that defines me.
You don't have as good of a Batman voice.
Well, I thought it'd be good, though. Oh, I've got the best one. I've got it, because I've done this before. It's Rocky Balboa playing Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. I don't know if I can do it. Hey, yo, what are we fighting for? I think, there's a lot of good in the world, and it's worth fighting for. What are the stories going to say about us, Frodo? Yeah, I don't know. We gotta go the distance and destroy the ring,
That's good. I'm trying not to laugh so that you keep doing it.
Ew, I'm just gonna start talking like this, but, I helped I may not be able to carry the ring, but, I can carry you. I don't know.
Okay, so that is our really, really, really bad impressions of a couple of movie characters.
Also, I can do Kevin Owens, who's a wrestler, but no one knows who Kevin Owens is. But I think it's a pretty good accent, if you knew who he was.
Were you doing it just there? Because I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he just sounds like a nasally French-Canadian.
I just thought that was your normal voice.
No, this is what I sound like normally. This is what I sound like as Kevin Owens.
Can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference either. So we've learned today that Ryan has much higher expectations for his impersonations than he actually does.
I thought that the Rocky Balboa one was pretty good.
It's not bad.
Can we do a team up of Rocky and Batman? You know?
I don't think I'd want to do that.
But, we gotta go a distance, so we know we're not a bum.
We also learned that he can't ride a bike, swim.
Or swim. And that Ronnie doesn't know how to play fantasy football.
And
Or how to follow baseball.
No.
But, we can't all do everything, I really like the Rocky voice, so I'm gonna end the show using the Rocky voice.
Happy Rapture Party Day.
I don't remember what I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna end it with Rocky.
All right.
See you later,
See you
guys.
guys.
This is Snorkeling with Narwhals,
Goodbye. Can we just do it?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't really.
Well, I don't know who I'm gonna impersonate. I can't really do one except Kevin Owens, but no one knows who that is.
You should pick like a sponge. Like you should try to do a SpongeBob impression and fail at it. That was Squidward.
Squidward.
That was actually pretty good. Do that again. Do that.
I can do Patrick.
Let me hear it. That's
It's
just
a
your laugh.
giraffe.
That's just you. That's
That
all
is
right.
just real.
Okay, this is all right. So do your Squidward laugh, and then try to do a SpongeBob SquarePants. Just do SpongeBob. Do
laugh?
your SpongeBob. Just an impression. Any impression.
I need a line.
I'm ready.
Do you ever see Tom Kenny doing the voice?
Isn't he like, yeah?
So weird.
No, that's not it, but I.
So stop. It's mine.
You looked like you were
So
struggling.
for this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to share some of our impressions that we can do. Now, Brian does a pretty decent Squidward laugh.
And Squidward, of
What'd I
course,
say?
from SpongeBob.
I
Everyone.
said Squidward.
No, I'm
I
just
thought you were correcting me.
for that weird person.
We're
who
starting
doesn't-
over.
For that weird person who doesn't know who Squidward is.
Brian, anyone who's watching this show knows who Squidward is.